Hello and welcome again to my channel. In this video, I'm going to cover the general IELTS reading test. I will be going through every single question types to be able to understand the real technique and strategy to score high in the IELTS exam. You are not gonna get bored. I want you please to stick actually to the whole video. So I want you to watch the whole video. It's not gonna get bored. I know it might take some long time, but trust me, you will learn every single step of the question types. If you don't have any idea about the question types, you have to watch this video. If you always find difficulty to score high in the reading test, if you find that the time is always stopping you from scoring high in the reading test, you will need to watch this video with me. I'm going to show you all the techniques. I'm going to elucidate all of them, and I'm going to be very specific and very punctual in every single technique. So let's get going. I'm going now to share something with you. So it's actually one of the reading tests here. As you can see on my screen, the text is about the best suitcases. Okay, so let me just first explain to you what is reading test. So the reading test consists of 3 sections. So we have section 1. I'm talking about the general IELTS test, okay? The general reading test. So in section 1, as you can see, we have one text and then another text. So usually we have 2 texts in section 1, and also we have 2 texts in section 2. So that is section 2, that's the first text, and that's the second text of the section 2. And then we move to section 3, and section 3, usually it has one single test only. And usually the text in section 3 is quite academic. So most of the words here are academic, and the topic is somewhat or somehow difficult. So if you're not familiar with the topic, you might find it challenging to score high in this specific section. But even though I will show you the real technique to score high. So let's go back first to section 1. So as you can see in section 1, we have the first question, the best suitcases. Let's actually begin with the questions here. So from question 1 to question 7, that's called the matching sentences question. So as you can see here, if you can see my screen well, I can zoom it a bit more, it's fine. I think you can see it more now. So as you can see, it says, look at the 7 reviews of suitcases A to G on page 16. So he's talking about the page above where the text is. For which suitcase are the following statements true? Write the correct letter A to G in boxes 1 to 7 on your answer sheet. Not, it says, you may use any letter more than once. How important is this sentence? So you may use any letter more than once. What does it mean? So for example, you might have 2 sentences that share the same paragraph, but you can't actually put 2 letters next to every sentence. You can't do it. Many students do this mistake by actually writing 2 letters sometimes next to one of the sentences. You can't do it. What it means by this sentence is you can, for example, you might find more than one sentence, or actually more than one sentence actually that matches with one single paragraph. I'll show you what it means. So first of all, what you have to do is, in these specific questions, before you move to the text, don't move to the text first. Don't do it. If you move to the text, you're going to get yourself confused. If you read the whole text, for example, would you remember the text? Would you memorize every single information in the text? Would you remember all the complicated or the complex sentences and the simple sentences in the text? I don't think so. Okay, so what you have to do first is you need to read all the sentences very well. So for example here, the first sentence, the suitcase is for those who wish to purchase expensive luggage. So when you read the sentence, first of all, you need to understand the overall topic of the sentence. That's the first step. So the suitcase is for the people maybe for the people who are rich, so they can buy expensive luggage. Okay, so I understood the overall topic of the sentence. The second thing is you need to underline the keywords. For example, who wish to purchase, it might be a keyword. Expensive luggage might be keywords as well. You need to actually underline these keywords. Why? Because you might find different wording style of the same words in the text. Maybe instead of purchase, you would come across buy, or expensive. Maybe you would find the word costly instead of expensive. Did you get it? So they're not going to use the same words in the text. You need to always assume that these words can be written differently in the text. And it's not about, by the way, changing the words. They could actually place the meaning of these words in one sentence, but in an indirect way. So you need to be careful. And that's what you need to understand the overall meaning of the sentence. So moving to sentence number 2. Let me just use something so you can actually follow up with me. Okay, the second sentence, it says, okay, what's this above? So the suitcase is the right one for people who like to follow the latest fashion. So this suitcase is the right one for the people who like to follow the latest fashion. So I guess, at the end of the sentence, the other part of the sentence is very important to follow and to underline. So the right one might be a keyword for people like to follow the latest fashion. To follow the latest fashion is very important to underline, to actually underline it, okay? Number 3, it's easy to choose one of these suitcases to match most clothing. So it's so easy to choose one of these suitcases to match most clothing. So it's easily, if I actually select this luggage, I can match it with my clothes. Maybe there's something special about it. Okay, so I have to underline match most clothing. This might be written in a different way in the text. And it's easy to choose one, might be very important to underline. Moving to section number 4, the manufacturer is confident that the suitcase will last a long time. I have to underline this, will last a long time. So maybe if I buy this luggage, I can keep it for years and years. Maybe it's very original, it's very authentic. I'm not sure, but I understood the meaning of this sentence and I did underline the keywords. Number 5, items in this suitcase will not be affected if it gets wet. So it's sort of like water resistant, maybe. Maybe they might mention something about rain. If you are walking under the rain, the luggage would still be appropriate to actually wear, or the items in the bag wouldn't be affected. Okay, amazing. So I have to underline will not be affected if it gets wet. The suitcase is of a useful medium size. So I assume that medium size is the most important keyword in this sentence, medium size. Moving to the last one, those who want to be reminded of an earlier age of travel will like the suitcase. So if you want to remind the old days, you're going to like the suitcase. So I have to underline to be reminded of an earlier age of travel. So all of this part of the sentence is very important to underline. Now, I have fully understood the overall topic of all these sentences. I have underlined the keywords, and I did put in my mind that these specific keywords might be written in a different way in the text. I've done from the first step. What you need to do is jumping to the second step, where you have to go back to the text and try to match these sentences. So what you have to do is you go back to the text and start by paragraph A. So you have to read the paragraph A. And once you're done from paragraph A, you have to go back down to the sentences to see which sentence match with paragraph A. It could be 1 or 2 sentences. I'm not sure. Let's see. A, Briggs and Riley Weekender. A weekend suitcase that is sophisticated and unusually spacious for its type. Okay, the strong nylon outer fabric is water and abrasion resistant. Abrasion resistant means you can't rip it. It's not easily ripped, or damaged. So water resistant. I think I've seen this in one of the sentences here. Items in the suitcase will not be affected if it gets wet. So sentence number 5, definitely matching with paragraph A. Let's keep reading. So it should handle any knocks without showing signs of damage. I don't think there's any other sentence or actually that would match with paragraph A. I don't think so. So paragraph A matched with sentence 5. Moving to paragraph B, mulberry Scotch grain, trimmed in brown leather with gold details. This bag from the renowned fashion house is a truly indulgent buy. The brown leather, gold details, renowned fashion house, a truly indulgent buy. Indulgent means like you are putting too much to do it, to take it, to buy it. So if you are investing this much in a suitcase, if you are investing this much in a suitcase, then you would better be planning an amazing holiday to go with it. All these sentences, all these words show us if you are rich, you can buy it. That's it. I'm telling you. Let's go to the sentences. Definitely, paragraph B matches with sentence number 1. The suitcase is for those who wish to purchase expensive luggage. It's definitely the only sentence that matches with paragraph B. No any other sentence. Okay? Sorry, I'm not actually reading the other sentences again, because I actually sort of like memorized them. But what you have to do is, for example, if you start with paragraph A, you need to go from 1 to 7. So you have to read from 1 to 7 to make sure maybe it could be more than one sentence, okay? So for example, I chose 5 because I remembered this fastly, but many students sometimes don't remember what they have read in the list of phrases. So yes, you have to start by 1, 2, 3, 4, like blah, 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 until you find the matching sentence. And then you keep reading to the end, okay? So you have to do that. But sort of like have a good memory. So I just remembered what I actually read. Okay, so that's B. So as you can see now, A and B, they match with one sentence only. Okay, so A matches with sentence 5, and B matches with sentence number 1. Moving to C, Rimova Salsa, a design you can trust. This case is built from super light polycarbonate and is incredibly solid. The built-in combination lock offers state-of-the-art security, so you can travel with peace of mind. So they're talking about security. I don't think there's any sentence talking about security. So I'm going to revise them again. When this is a 34,000, no, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. I don't think so. C doesn't have any matching sentences, as you can see. It doesn't have. And you have to remember something very well. Not all the sentences have to be matching with the sentence. Sorry, not all the paragraphs should be matching with all the sentences. You know, you might find 1 or 2 paragraphs excluded, sometimes more. It depends. So don't expect that, oh, I have to match all the paragraphs with the sentences below. No. Okay, so try to focus on this point very well. So C doesn't have any matching sentences. Moving to D, trip holiday. Simple and affordable. The trip range offers a great selection of tough cases. They also come in a huge range of cheerful colors that should go with anything you choose to put on. A huge range of cheerful colors that should go with anything you choose to put on, you choose to wear. To put on means to wear. So I guess I found something like that in the sentences. I remember that was sentence number 3. It's easy to choose one of these suitcases to match most clothing. It's definitely matching with sentence number 3. So I'm sure that paragraph D matches with sentence number 3, okay? If I keep reading, and you will definitely be able to spot it on the luggage carousel at the airport. There's nothing, so paragraph D matches with sentence number 3, okay? Paragraph E, Eastpak Transverse Holdall, for those who want something in between an annual holiday suitcase and a weekend bag. This is a fantastic compromise. So if you want something between annual holiday and a weekend bag, what does it mean? Something between that size and that size. What is it? It's a medium size. Okay, so it's definitely, this sentence is definitely matching with sentence number 6. Sorry, the suitcase is of a useful medium size. See, so the sentence below was written in a very indirect way in the text. So that's why you need to understand the overall meaning of the sentence to be able to find it. So not only actually focusing on the keywords 9, you need to focus on the keywords and the overall meaning of the sentence. So as you can see, the meaning of the sentence was written here in an indirect way. Okay, let's keep reading. With 2 wheels and a telescopic handle, the bag is guaranteed for 30 years. Did you mention it also comes in colorful leopard print? The bag is guaranteed for 30 years. What does it mean? I assume that paragraph E is matching with another sentence. Let's go back. I guess that's sentence number 4. The manufacturer is confident that the suitcase will last a long time because it says guaranteed for 30 years means it lasts a long time. So now paragraph E is matching with 4 and 6. Okay. Let's continue with F. Herschel Parcel. From the brand behind some of today's most popular rucksacks, the suitcase really is a delight. Okay. Custom printed with Herschel's signature, leather toggles, this well-crafted case is as cool, stylish, and up-to-date as they come. Stylish and up-to-date as they come. What does it mean? I think this is matching with one of the sentences, which is number 2. The suitcase is the right one for people who like to follow the latest fashion. If you like to follow the latest fashion, that's the word, latest. That means you like to keep yourself updated. So you like to keep yourself updated with everything new. Okay, so that's definitely, sentence number 2 is definitely matching with paragraph F. Okay, moving to the last one, the diploma. Travel in style with this beautiful suitcase. That goes back to the days when trains then ran on steam and air travel was leisurely. Was leisurely means it was beautiful, you know, it was like pleasant or good. So leisurely here is an adjective. So as you can see, it's definitely showing that paragraph G is matching with number 7, and that's the only left one. Those who want to be reminded of an earlier age of travel would like the suitcase because they mentioned about the steam trains. The steam trains are the very old trains, and some countries still have these trains. For example, Australia, we still have these kind of trains in Australia. So as you can see, travel in style with this beautiful suitcase. That goes back to the days when trains on steam, ran on steam and air travel was leisurely. The leather suitcase, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the first half of the sentence is matching with number 7, and that's it. So now we've done from the first question type, which is the matching sentences. I hope that you have fully understood the strategy I have showed you. And now let's move to the second test of section 1, which is the Oxford School of Drama. Okay, so in this specific one, let me just, okay. So the Oxford School of Drama here, as you can see, we have a second question type, which is the true, false, not given. We have sentences from 8 to 14. Okay, so true, if the statement agrees with the information. False, if the statement contradicts the information, and not given if there's no information on this at all. What does it mean? I'll show you. Many students actually confuse true, false with not given, or true with not given, and sometimes not given with false. They always get confused between choosing the right one because they lack the strategy. I'll show you how to do this one. First of all, the first step that you have to do is the same one that you have just done in the matching sentences question. Okay, so as you can see now, we need to start reading the sentences. So students can begin the one-year course without any previous involvement in acting. So the students can begin the one-year course, that's a keyword, without. So the without here might be a very important keyword. So you need to underline without any previous involvement in acting. So that means the students who actually begin the first one-year course can actually enter, they can join, even if they don't have experience in acting, okay? So interesting. I'm trying to understand the overall topic of the sentence. Students will act in a performance in front of their classmates at the end of the first term. It's definitely clear what I'm reading right now. So students will act in a performance in front of their classmates at the end of the first term. So will act in a performance, all of these are keywords, in the front of their classmate, keywords as well. At the end of the first term, keywords. So the sentence is full of keywords. So you have to understand the overall meaning very well. Family members may attend a performance during the second term. So may attend and family members. So the sentence is talking about the family members. Okay, the family members. So the family members may attend a performance during the second term. Let's see if they would mention anything about the family members. Would they mention anything about the attendance of family members? We'll see. Students are required to make a film, on their own by themselves in the last term of the course. We'll see. In the first audition might be a keyword. Candidates perform speeches they have worked on in advance. So they would perform speeches that they have already worked on beforehand. The Oxford School of Drama will send candidates details of local accommodation. It's quite clear. Overseas candidates can do all the auditions. All might be a keyword. All the auditions via a digital link. So I have to underline all the auditions and a digital link, and overseas candidates as well. Okay, so now I have understood all the sentences, I have underlined all the keywords, and now it's time to actually go to the text and search for sentence number 8. Usually in section 2 or section 1, when you come across this kind of questions, once you find the first sentence in the text, the others will follow, okay? They will actually come in order, okay? So let's first begin with number 8. Students can begin the one-year course without any previous involvement in acting. This is an intensive course which is designed for those who have completed their academic studies and have some theater or film experience already. So you need to have some theater or film experience already. So theater or film, these are synonyms of the word acting, okay? Theater and film. So you need to have experience in it. So I have the context of the sentence here. I have the topic of the sentence mentioned. So I have to exclude not given. I can't think about the not given now because I can find the context of the sentence, which is been having the experience in joining the course. I can find the overall topic of the sentence, but it contradicts with the actual sentence below. So without any, no, it's not without any previous involvement. You need to have a previous involvement in acting. So then 8 is false. Understood? Moving to 9. Students will act in a performance in the front of their classmates at the end of the first term. What is the first term? That's the term 1. Technical classes in acting, voice movement, applied movement, and characterization, music, singing, film, radio, and professional development. There's nothing in here. The term finishes, and so finishes is a synonym of end. Finishes, the term finishes is a synonym of at the end of the term that has written down below. With an internal production is a synonym of performance given for the tutors and students. Students is a synonym of classmates. So I can find the overall topic of the sentence here. Yes, the term finishes exactly with an internal production, which is a performance given for tutors and students. Okay, the classmates. If I go back to the sentence, it says, students will act in a performance in front of their classmates at the end of the first term. Yes, I've seen this. It's true. Number 9 is true. Okay, you don't need to complicate things. I can find the overall topic above in the text. Okay, so it's definitely true. Moving to number 10. Family members may attend a performance during the second term. Interesting. So family members may attend a performance during the second term. Let's see. That's the second term. All technical classes continue from term 1. There's an internal performance of a one-act play, okay, the recording of an audio show reel at a professional studio, and the showcase drama in front of an invited audience, including casting directors and agents. I didn't mention anything about family members or their attendance. It's completely not given. So the information of this given in this sentence, number 10, is not given. Family members may attend the performance. There's nothing mentioned about family members or the attendance, so it's definitely not given. So 10 is not given. Number 11, students are required to make a film on their own in the last term of the course. So that's the last term of the course. Technical classes continue with additional focus on audition technique, workshops, and master classes. This term includes a public performance of a play outdoors in the grounds of Blenheim Palace. So includes a public performance of a play outdoors. A play means like a film, outdoors in the grounds of a Blenheim Palace, and the chance to act a short film recorded on location by a professional crew. So you can't do it on your own. It's by a professional crew. So yes, you are required to do a film, but not on your own, by a professional crew. So if I go back to the sentence again, that says students are required to make a film on their own in the last term of the course, it's definitely false. I have the context of the sentence. The topic of the sentence is mentioned in the text, but it contradicts the information given in the text. So then it's false. So number 11 is false. Moving to 12, in the first edition, candidates' performance speeches they have worked on in advance. Let's see. So I entered to Oxford is audition. There's nothing in here. Once we have received the application form and audition fee, we will email you with the date for your audition and further details about what to expect when you are here. There's nothing in here. For your initial audition, so, okay, I found this in the first audition, okay. So for your initial audition, you will need to prepare 2 contrasting speeches from plays lasting no longer than 2 minutes. There will also be some group work for which you will need to wear loose, comfortable clothing. In the first edition, candidates' performance speeches they have worked on in advance. Yes, that is true. I found this sentence. I found the context of the sentence mentioned, and it totally agrees with what's written above in the text, because you need to prepare 2 contrasting speeches from plays lasting no longer than 2 minutes. Okay, so it's definitely mentioned. So then number 12 is true. Number 13, the Oxford School of Drama will send candidates details of local accommodation. Let's see. I didn't see anything about local accommodation in here, nor in here. Let's see. I might find something about local accommodation in this paragraph. If you are applying from overseas, you will be able to submit your first edition by means of DVD, YouTube, or link to a secure website. You will be invited to submit this one. Once we have received the application form and audition fee. If you are successful in your first edition, you will be invited to attend future audition, blah, 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 blah. No, there's nothing. There's nothing matching with sentence number 13. So 13 is not given. There's nothing mentioned about sending candidates details of local accommodation by the Oxford School of Drama. Nothing mentioned about this. So 13 is definitely not given. Moving to the last one, number 14, overseas candidates can do all the auditions via digital link. I think I have come across this in here. If you are applying from overseas, you will be able to submit your first edition by means of DVD, YouTube, or link to a secure website. Okay, so a link to a secure website is a synonym of digital link. Okay, I found this, but not all the auditions, only your first audition. So the context of the sentence is actually present in the text, but it contradicts the information. So then 14 is false. That's all, okay? So you don't need to complicate things, as I told you. As you can see, the matching sentences question in the first text and the true false not given in the second text here, they both share the same technique. So you have to always start by reading all the sentences very well, underline the keywords, and understand the overall context of these sentences to be able to find the answer easily. You need to focus on the keywords as well, and you need to expect that these keywords might be written differently in the text, okay? So we've done now from section 1. Let's move to section 2, which is fill the blank. Many students find this section challenging, and other students, on the other hand, find it easy and just simple to be finished on time. But even if it's simple, some students struggle with the time actually in this specific section, trying to find what word I have to find, what word I have to find. Why? Because they lack the technique. They don't have the technique. Let's see what technique. As usual, you need to forget about the text. It says here, choose no more than 2 words from the text for each answer. Write your answers in boxes 15 to 20 on your answer sheet. Okay. So the text is about border crossing for commercial vehicles. Okay, let me just trying to, sorry, what did I just do? Yeah, I'm trying to zoom in a bit more so you would be able to actually see the documents more properly. Isn't that right? Okay, so let me just put those spotlights, sorry. Okay. Okay, so now let's go back to the questions here. So it says procedure for border crossing. So as you can see, we have a title for this section here. Procedure for border crossing. This might help you to locate it in the text. Anyway, the text is not long, so it's so easy to locate the information. So we have number 15. Many students ignore what's written before. No, you can't ignore these 2 sentences because these 2 sentences help you to locate number 15. So it says, before setting off, to speed up the border crossing, use PAPS. PAPS, okay, I understood. So if you want to speed up the border crossing, you need to use PAPS. What is PAPS? I will find out in the text. For this, send your, it says no more than 2 words. Don't forget, so you might have 1 word or 2 words for the answer. So for this, send your details and current vehicle inspection documents. So current vehicle inspection documents, I have to write this word, or all these words, I have to write down all of these words. For the send your, I have to write down this one and I have to expect the answer. What you have to do now is you need to set expectations of the type or the form of the word here. Let's see, it might be a noun, an adjective, a verb, an adverb, a number, I'm not sure. In this specific one, it's a word that is connected to details, private details, personal details, or maybe it could be not even adjective, it could be a noun, company details, I'm not sure. So I'm trying to expect what the answer is, okay? So you need to familiarize yourself first with what's before, and after the blank, underline the keywords and understand the context of the sentence to be able to find it easily in the text. Number 16, before arriving at the border, check that documents such as and birth certificate, passport are ready for inspection. So 16 is a document, okay? Because it says check that documents such as this. So this kind of documents, okay, I have to find this document, excluding the birth certificate, passport, blah, blah, blah. So it's another document. What is it? I have to find in the text. Make sure, I have to underline this, make sure the are on inside the vehicle. So the are, so we have the auxiliary verb are. So then 17 is a plural noun because we have are on. So the on and off. So we have on. So these specific things have to be on inside the vehicle. So I have to underline inside the vehicle as well. Check that, check, I have to underline check. That the in the vehicle can be easily seen. So that specific thing in the vehicle has to be easily seen. So you might find easily seen written in a different word in the text. I'm expecting, I'm trying to expect, I'm trying to anticipate or predict things up ahead, actually, ahead of time. So number 18, it's a specific thing in the vehicle that has to be easily seen. Now, at the border primary inspection, this may be the only stop if paperwork is in order. Non-US Canadian citizens must have a visa and go to the area. So the non-US Canadian citizens, they have to have a visa and they have to go to that area, so the name of the area, to complete an I-94 card. Oh, this is very important to underline. So you need to go to that area to complete that card, which is I-94 card. And it says there's a small something. So small is a keyword that might be written in a different way in the text. Maybe little, I'm not sure. Small something for this and to receive verbal clearance. Even to receive verbal clearance might help us to locate the answer, okay? So you can't ignore the information after the blank. Don't do it. Moving, okay, I don't care about the others now. Now let's go to the text, okay? So I familiarized myself with all these. Now I have to go to the text and start locating the answers. So, speed up the body crossing before setting off. For this, send your details and current vehicle inspection documents. So for this, send your details and current vehicle inspection document. I have to go to the text now. That's the text. There's nothing in paragraph 1. If you read paragraph 1, there's nothing in it. Your paragraph, okay, we have PAPS. As you can see, that's the word. I'm looking for this word. Your first point of contact at the border consists of primary inspection. The best way to clear customs at primary inspection is to make sure customs gets information about your shipment before you set off using the pre-arrival processing system, PAPS. When using this, you need to provide information about your shipment, and you also need to send a proof of your current annual inspection of your vehicle. Oh, okay. It says here, current vehicle inspection documents, send your details. So I assume information about your shipment. Information is a keyword of details. So details about your shipment. Information is a keyword of details. Is a synonym, is actually a synonym. If I go to the text, to the actual sentence, send your shipment details, information, and current vehicle. So it's shipment. Number 15 is shipment, okay? And send your, by the way, it's written as a provide. You need to provide. You need to provide. This is a synonym of, for this, send your. So send your is a synonym of you need to provide. See, I'm trying to actually focus on the keywords. I located in the text. I located it in the text because of the keywords, okay? Moving to 16. Check that documents such as and birth certificate are ready for inspection before arriving at the border. Okay, let's continue. Okay, before you arrive at the border, okay, I found the other half of the sentence. Before you arrive at the border, make sure you have all your paperwork up to date and ready to present at primary inspection. Okay, you'll need a photo ID in addition to your birth certificate or passport. So that's photo ID. If you go to here, it says it's a type of document. So such as and birth certificate. So such as photo ID and birth certificate, passport are ready for inspection. That was completely written in the text. It's completely written when it says you will need. It means you check. It's another word of saying check, which was written down below. So you will need a photo ID in addition to your birth certificate. Okay, so photo ID is the answer. You can have 2 words because it says in here no more than 2 words. So you have to write here photo ID. Make sure that they are on inside the vehicle. Okay, let's see this one. In addition to your bus, okay, drivers must also turn on. Make sure. Must is a synonym of make sure. Must also turn on interior cab lights and open all interior drapes. So the interior cab lights need to be on. Okay, I can't actually write interior cab lights, and I only have to write 2 words. Okay, no more than 2 words. So you can either say lights or cab lights. To be on the safe side, it's better to say cab lights. Okay, so here, make sure that the cab lights are on inside the vehicles. So you can say cab lights or lights alone, it's fine. Check number 18. Check that the in the vehicle can be easily seen. So what has to be easily seen? Let's see. And open all the interior drapes or the blinds, okay, to sleeper areas for easy inspection. So you need to open these so that the sleeper areas can be easily seen for easy inspection. So easy inspection is a keyword or easily seen, okay? So what has to be easily seen? The sleeper areas, okay? not the interior decks or the blinds, 9. The sleeper areas for easy inspection. So then I have to go back down here and say, and I check that the sleeper areas in the vehicle can be easily seen. Okay. So the sleeper areas is the answer. Moving to 19, they are talking about the non-US citizens that have to have a visa and they have to go to that area to complete the card, if you remember. I'm sorry. So I've already explained this sentence here. Let's go to the text and see which area. So you have I've done from this paragraph. Let's move to the next one. If all your paperwork is in order and was proceed ahead of time, you will be released at the primary line, and this may be your only stop if you are a Canadian US citizen. Okay. A visa is obligatory, and you will also be required to complete an I-94 card. Okay, but where? There's nothing mentioned here. I have to see where I have to complete the I-94 cards. I-94 cards are available only at border crossings into the United States. Border crossings area, it wouldn't make sense to say border crossings area. 9. Drivers who clear customs at primary inspection, okay, will be instructed to report to immigration to fill out the I-94 card and receive verbal clearance. That's a verbal. We have verbal clearance here, okay? So as you can see, what area you have to go to complete the I-94 card? It's the immigration area, because it says primary inspection will be instructed to report to immigration to fill out the I-94 card. So it's definitely the immigration area, definitely immigration. So if I go back to here, it's non-US Canadian citizens must have a visa and go to the immigration area to complete an I-94 card. Okay, there is a small for this. Small what? Let's continue. Okay, and card and receive verbal clearance, okay, from a US official to proceed into the United States, okay. The charge for the I-94 card is $6. So $6 is not a big charge. It's a small charge, small. Oh, okay. So if I go back here, it says there is a small for this, a small charge. So it's the word charge because it says the charge for the I-94 card, it was written as for this here. It says for this. For this means for I-94 card is $6. So the charge is $6. $6 is a synonym of small. Okay, so then I have to write down charge in number 20. Okay, so that's what you have to do. It's quite a very easy step to follow. Okay, don't complicate yourself. Don't find it actually hard to follow. It's quite easy. Okay, so now we've done the first text of section 2. Now let's move to the other text of section 2. Usually the second text in section 2 would be quite challenging sometimes, so you need to focus very well. It's called appendix, dealing with absence in the workplace. So it's talking about the absence in the workplace, or maybe the absenteeism. I don't know if you've heard of this word before, absenteeism. Absenteeism, being absent from work because of some, personal matters or something. So as you can see, it says one word only, in here, only one word, okay? And yes, we need to follow the same strategy, okay? So you need to read all the sentences very well, underline the keywords, and try to actually, by the way, you can try to read it in your first language, okay? I forgot to tell you this. When you read the sentences, even the true false not given or the matching sentences, if you find it hard or difficult to understand the meaning of the sentence, you can read it in your first language. You can just read it in your first language. It would be okay, okay? So try to read it in your first language. For example, if you speak Arabic or French or Indian or Chinese or whatever, you can read it in your first language to be able to catch the overall meaning of the sentence, okay? So that's what you have to do specifically in this specific kind of questions, which is fill the blank. So we have employees' rights in here. That's the title. The title might help us to locate the sentence here. It says, help with issues related to disabilities. For example, provision of a suitable something. Suitable what? So it help employees, it's talking about the help with issues related to disabilities, disabilities when someone has some sort of disability, maybe he can't walk properly, or he's on a wheelchair, or he's using maybe crutches or something. So for example, provision of a suit. So we have a lot of keywords here. We have issues, disabilities. I have to underline this. For example, might be a keyword, provision of a suitable, provision of a suitable. These are the best keywords that I need to focus on. Provision of a suitable something. This part of the sentence might help us to locate this, the answer as well. So we need to focus on every single word, I'm telling you. So provision of a suitable what? Let's go to the text and see. This appendix considers how to handle the problems of absence and gives guidance about authorized and unauthorized absence of employees from work. Sorry, I have to drink. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. So the organization would be aware of the rights of employees, and in particular, the requirements of the Equality Act 2010 when making any decisions about absences of employees who are disabled, who are disabled. Now I found the word disabled. In these cases, the employer should consider what reasonable adjustments could be made in the workplace to help the employee, to help with issues. So I found the first part of the sentence, disabilities and help the employee. That's the first part of the sentence here. Help with issues related to disabilities. So I found this part. Now let's continue because I still haven't found what is need to be provided and what is suitable. Provision of a suitable. So you need to provide something suitable, and it's A. We have the article A. So 21 is a singular noun. Okay. So let's go back to the text. It says, this might be something as simple as supplying. Supplying is a synonym of provision. Provision is the noun of provide, and provide and supply, they have the same meaning. So supplying is the synonym of provision. Provision here. Okay, so let's go back to the text. Supplying and appropriate. Appropriate is a synonym of suitable. Appropriate means suitable. Share for the use. As you can see, share was written in a singular form. And yes, it has to be singular because it says is provision of a suitable something. As I told you, it's a suitable noun. So then it's a chair for the use of the employee. So if I go back here, provision of a suitable chair, because these people are disabled. So you need a suitable chair for them. Okay, do you understand the meaning now? Moving to 22. Provision of arrangements to deal with any work-related what? So you need to provide arrangement to be able to deal with any work-related, so something that is related to work. Let's see, let's continue reading. Okay, so let's continue. It says, share of the use of, in cases when an employee suffers from an allergy caused by something in the workplace, it says work-related something, related, caused by something in the workplace. So caused by something in could be a synonym of related. Let's continue. The employer should consider remedial action or the transfer to alternative work. So this sentence here is this part here, provision of arrangement to deal, because it says, as you can see, the employer should consider remedial action. So should consider remedial action. Remedial is an adjective of remedy. Remedy to solve something, to deal with it. Okay, so should consider remedial action. Okay, so as you can see, the first part of the sentence was written here. Okay, so it might be definitely before. As you can see, it might be tricky. You don't need to follow the order of the sentence. For example, in this one here, in this sentence here, you might find this part of the sentence written, you know, like the answer might be actually written before this. It's okay. They don't have to be in order. So you need to be actually careful. You need to be very cautious. So let's see what is related to work. So as I told you, this sentence is the first part of the sentence written below. So I have to go back again, and it says, so it's definitely the word allergy, because it says, in cases when an employee suffers from allergy caused by something in the workplace. So caused by something in the workplace is a synonym of related. So work-related allergy. So allergy is the answer. An allergy caused by something in the workplace means allergy related or work-related allergy. As you can see, they are moving backwards. Okay, so you need to be very careful. Moving to 23, time of work to deal with short-term problems. So time of work is a keyword. To deal with is a keyword. Short-term problems. We have a lot of keywords in this. So we need time of work to be able to deal with problems, with short-lasting problems, means problems who don't last long. Let's see. Okay, so with short problems of something, so it's a specific thing. So I need time of work to deal with short-term problems of something. So it might be a noun. It's definitely a noun. It might be a situation, a phenomenon. Let's see. So I have to continue reading. So I've done from the first paragraph. Now let's see. If the absence is a synonym of time off. Okay, time of work. So the absence is a synonym of time of work. So I found the first half of the sentence. Is because of temporary difficulties. Temporary is a synonym of short-term. Difficulties is a synonym of problems. Relating to dependence means, so the answer is dependence. If I go back again, it says here, time of work. So time of work was written above as absence. To deal with short-term problems. Short-term problems was written as temporary difficulties. So then it's of dependence. So relating to dependence. So the answer is dependence. Okay, dependence. What is the meaning of dependence? Dependents are the people who rely on someone to get money from, or these people, they need support from someone. So they depend on someone to support them financially or socially, whatever. 24. Possibility of arrangements that are to help with domestic responsibilities. So I assume 24 is an adjective because, as you can see, the possibility of arrangement are something. So he's actually describing the arrangements. So 24 is an adjective related to the arrangements, and these arrangements are actually meant to help with domestic responsibilities. Domestic responsibilities means housework. Domestic is a keyword of, we use it a lot in home. For example, domestic duties. So domestic duties means housework, okay, or chores, whatever. So let's see. Let's see what is the adjective of the arrangement is. So let's continue here. It says, the employee may be entitled to have time off under the provision of the Employment Rights Act in cases where the employee has difficulty managing bad work and harm responsibilities. Employees have the right to request flexible ways of working, such as job sharing, and employers must have a good business reason for rejecting, blah, blah, blah. It's here. In cases where the employee has difficulty managing bad work and harm responsibilities, okay, harm responsibilities, harm is a keyword of domestic, okay? Harm is a keyword of domestic that was written below. Domestic responsibilities, employees have the right to request flexible, that's the adjective I'm looking for, flexible ways of working. Ways of working is a synonym of arrangements. Okay, so if I go back down here, we have provision of arrangements, which is ways of working, okay, to deal with any, sorry, not here, I'm sorry, here. Possibility of arrangements, which is the synonym of ways of working that are flexible to help with domestic responsibilities. So flexible is actually the answer, okay? Moving now to number 25. Now we have recommendations to employers. Make it clear, I have to underline this, make it clear that absence is a possible reason for what? So absence might be a reason for something. So I assume 25 is a strong noun. It's a noun. Let's see. Employers should investigate unexpected absences promptly. Promptly means immediately. And the employees should be asked for an explanation at a return work interview. Okay. In order to show both the employee concerned and the other employees that absence is regarded as a serious matter and may result in dismissal. Dismissal. To dismiss someone, to sack him or fire him. Okay, so dismissal is a keyword of eviction. Okay, so then it's dismissal. It's definitely, it says the absence is regarded as a serious matter and may result in dismissal. If I go back here, it says, make it clear that absence is a possible reason for. So as a possible reason was written as may result in. Is a possible reason for. A possible reason for was written here as, well, okay, may result in, may instead of possible, result in instead of a reason. Okay, so may result in is a synonym of a possibility or a possible reason for. Okay, so you need to focus very well on the keywords. So it's dismissal, and that's a noun. Dismissal is a noun. Okay, so I just stopped at dismissal because I knew it's a noun. I knew it's a strong noun. I told you it's a strong noun because I expected that there is a strong noun. So dismissal is the answer. Okay, so dismissal is the noun of dismiss. If you want to dismiss someone, you reject him or you fire him if you want to use it as a terminology in the workplace. Moving to number 26, ask employees for consent. Consent means for agreement, if they agree, if they, okay, consent is a noun. So ask, you can even use it as a verb, by the way. Ask employees for consent before contacting them. So you need to get their agreement before you contact their. So there is a subject, there is a possessive pronoun, which is connected to the employees. Let's see, who do you have to contact? So, okay, it's very important that persistent absence is dealt with firmly and consistently. Records showing lateness and the duration of an explanation for all spells of absence should be kept to help monitor levels of absence or lateness. There's nothing in here. If the employer wishes to contact the employee's doctor for more information about a medical condition, so then what we have, it's a doctor, because the employee's doctor, so their doctor. So ask employees for consent before contacting their doctor. Number 27, identify employees affected by and provide support. So you need to find out. Identify means find out or recognize. So you need to recognize the employees who are affected by this. So 27 might be a noun. So it's definitely a noun. So these employees are affected by this. You need to find out and you have to provide support for them. So if you want to provide support for people who are affected by something, so it might be negative. I assume it's a negative noun. We'll see. It's something maybe bad. We'll see. I'm trying to expect the answer. So, okay, where did I stop here? Okay, he or she must notify the employee in writing that they intend to make such an application, and they must secure the employee's consent in writing. Okay, consideration should be given to introducing measures to help employees, regardless of status of seniority, who may be suffering from stress. The aim should be to identify employees affected and encourage them to seek help and treatment. So affected by what? Stress, suffering from stress. Okay, so suffering from might be a keyword for affected. And so it's a stress, it's a word stress. And I told you it's a negative thing. So if you go back again here, you would find out that stress is the only matching word here. So identify employees affected by stress and provide support. Okay. So I hope that you have fully understood the specific kind of questions that's fill the blank. It's very important to actually focus on the keywords and focus on the overall topic or meaning of the sentences to be able to solve these questions on time. I'm actually taking more time. I know I'm taking extra time because I'm explaining to you, but you can do this in a very fast time, okay? So once you familiarize yourself and once you understand the strategy I'm giving to you, it would be so easy for you to understand the whole process, okay? So that's all for today. I'm going to actually upload another video to complete section 3. Okay, so I'm going to talk about section 3 in my upcoming videos. As you can see, we have another question type which is list of headings. It's a very important question type. And we have also the multiple choice questions, I assume. There's no multiple choice questions here. Okay, there's no multiple choice questions. We just have the list of headings. You know what? Let me continue. Do you want me to continue, or we can do this on, in the next video? Let's move to section 3, okay? So in section 3 here, we have a list of headings, okay? So it says, the text on pages 25 and 26 has 9 paragraphs, A to I. Choose the correct heading for each paragraph from the list of headings below. Write the correct number in boxes 28 to 36 on your answer sheet. As you can see, we have a list of headings here, and we have paragraphs. As you need to match every single paragraph with the right heading. As you can see, we have how many paragraphs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 paragraphs. And how many headings do we have? We have 11. So 2 of these headings are excluded. That's first. So what you have to do is, it's quite easy. It's the same step as well. Don't go to the text. Don't worry about the text. First, you need to read all the sentences very well, underline the keywords, and try to read it in your first language to be able to understand the topic of every single sentence. Once you understand the meaning of all these headings, you can move to the text, okay? So various sources of supplies, the effects of going outside. It means what would happen if you go outside. I'm trying to understand it, okay? And you need to underline the keywords. So here we have various means we have a lot of sources of supplies. Supplies is a keyword. Effect is a keyword. Going outside is a keyword. Omyakon, past in the present. Omyakon, I think it's a mountain, I would say, or maybe, yeah, a mountain or an area, I would see, or a valley. We'll see in the text. Past and the present. These are very important keywords. A contrast in the landscape. Contrast in the landscape. So there are some contrast. What is the meaning of contrast in the landscape? So they might talk about snow, and then maybe they are mentioning how hot it was, and then it becomes cold, and then maybe it's a valley and mountains. So these are the sort of contrasts, okay, in the landscape. Number 5, animals that can survive the cold. So animals that can survive the cold. Interesting. How Omyakon is affected by its location. So how Omyakon is affected by the location. Location is a key word. Keeping out the cold. How to keep out the cold. So how to get rid of the cold or to remove the cold. Take it away. Maybe you warm yourself more, I assume. And not the only challenging time of the year. So they might be specific about a season maybe, or a specific period throughout the year, and it's quite challenging. So they are maybe mentioning another challenging time of the year. So if they, for example, if they are focusing on one specific season, in this specific paragraph, they might focus on another period of the year or another season maybe, and it's quite challenging as well. See how I'm trying to decipher the meaning of the sentence. Better than its reputation. Oh, that's very, very, very tricky. It's very tricky. He's trying to trick you in this specific heading. Better than its reputation. So maybe he's talking about something or someone, as maybe that person is known as a beautiful, kind person. No, or maybe that person is known as being bad or rude. But now he found out that no, he's a good person. I'm trying to analyze this heading. Number 10, very few facilities in buildings. Very few facilities in buildings. Interesting. Very few facilities. Okay. More snow than anywhere else in the world. Understood. So now I familiarized myself with all the headings. Now let's jump in the text to see, to match every single paragraph with the right heading. So now I sort of like remembered all the headings. I have to match them now with the right sentence. So let's start with A. Okay, let me just show you the technique. Usually in the heading section, what you need to do is you read the first sentence of the paragraph and the last sentence of the paragraph. That's what you have to do. When you read these two sentences, if you find that these two sentences could 100% match with one of the headings above, you can choose the heading and just skip reading. You don't need to read the whole paragraph. But if you feel that these sentences are not enough to match with one of the headings, then you will have to keep reading. Let's see. You don't need a sat nav to drive to Oymyakon. From Yakutis, you cross the Lena River and simply follow the M56 almost all of the way before taking a left at Tomtot for the final few kilometers. There's nothing matching with this full sentence. Okay, now, but let's see now the last sentence. But for hour after hour, the wintry wonderland was bathed in a crisp, clean sunshine, presenting a continuous panorama of conifer trees wrapped in silence and snow. But the word but would make you feel that you have to read what was before. So let's continue reading then. The journey takes 2 days of hard driving, 2 days of glistening landscapes, frozen rivers, and untouched snow, 2 days of endless forest and breathtaking view. There's nothing in here. He's just describing the landscape. 2 days to penetrate the heart of Siberia and reach the coldest inhabited place on earth. There's nothing in this sentence as well. The beauty surprised me. Oh, Siberia isn't known for its pleasant appearance. It's always billed as a place of hardship. But for hour after hour, the wintry wonderland was bathed in a crisp, clean sunshine, presenting a continuous panorama of conifer trees wrapped in silence and snow. So he's saying here, what is he saying here? He's saying that he was surprised by the beauty. He said, Siberia is not known for its beauty. It's known of how hard the life is there. And then now he's surprised that no, it's so beautiful, clean sunshine and stuff. Would these two sentences help you to match one of the headings with it? Yes, it's definitely this one, which is 9. Better than its reputation. Reputation means what you hear about someone. Okay, so the reputation of something means what people talk about, what people say about this. That's the reputation. Better than its reputation. It's definitely this one, this heading. So paragraph A matched with heading number 9, IX, because it says here, as I told you, the beauty surprised me. Siberia is not known for its pleasant appearance. It's not known of how beautiful it is. It's not of how it's a place of hardship. It's not as a place of hardship, but he was surprised by the beauty. He described here the beauty of the place. So then it's better than its reputation. It's not as the people think of. 9, it's beautiful. So then A matches with heading number 9. Moving to paragraph B, as we left the flat plain, the road began to twist and turn, leading us into untouched hills, and on towards the mountains. Okay, beneath the snow-clad peaks, the slopes. Okay, so he started by the hills, and now he's talking about the slopes. The slopes become steeper and the valleys deeper. So he started by the mountain, by the hills, mountains, and now he's talking about the slopes and the valleys. Okay, down in the valley, we stopped to look at a hot spring beside the road, hot spring, okay? It was immediately obvious against the snow. So that's hot spring and snow, how contrasting it is. Okay, it was immediately obvious against this, okay? A spot shrouded in heavy mist, trees emerged from the stench haze as a ghostly silhouettes. It's definitely all these sentences match with heading number, where it is, what is it? Here, number 4, a contrast in the landscape. It's definitely this one. So paragraph B matches with number 4, a contrast in the landscape. It's definitely a contrast. As you can see, he started by talking about hills and mountains, and then he started talking about the slopes and the valleys, and then he started talking about the hot spring. He mentioned the hot spring and the snow. How contrasting all of these places or characteristics, So it's definitely, it's a contrast in the landscape. C, despite the magical ambience of the Siberian wilderness, its reputation for hardship hit me every time I climbed out of the vehicle. Okay, within less than a minute, the skin all over my face began to feel as if it were burning. So because of how cold it is. So when he leaves the car, when I climbed out of the vehicle, might be a synonym of going outside. And I think I've seen this word. We'll see. So when I climbed out of the vehicle, when I go outside, my face started burning. It means burning because of the coldness. If I wasn't wearing my 2 sets of gloves, I rapidly lost the feelings in my fingertips. I learned very quickly not to go too deep. Okay. From these sentences, you can continue reading, but definitely these sentences match with heading number 2, the effects of going outside. Going outside was written, I climbed out of the vehicle. The effects, yes, when he said my face is burning and my fingertips are freezing, I can't move my fingertips. So as you can see, so then these are the effects, okay? So as you can see, I climbed out of the vehicle, the skin, face, as if it were burning. So that's one of the effects. I rapidly lost the feeling in my fingertips. That's the second effect. So now it's beautiful. We are lucky that we found the matching heading just by reading the first 2 sentences. Okay, so C matches with heading number 2, the effects of going outside. Now, paragraph D. Omiakon is a quiet little town, the world's coldest, of about 550 inhabitants, with its own power station, a school, 2 shops, and a small hospital. So I guess he's describing the place. He's talking about Omiakon in general, okay? It probably originated past as a seasonal settlement. So it was a seasonal settlement. A place means a place where reindeer herders. Reindeer is a type of deers, which is the Christmas deer, the Christmas animal. Herders, the people who take care of any sort of animals, sheep or deers or whatever, or deer actually, not deers. So within the herders spend the summer on the banks of the Indirgika River. It's quite easy. He talks first, he speaks about the town at the present time. He described the town, 550 inhabitants, own power station, blah, blah, blah. And then he talked about what was happening in the past. The past, he said, it originated as a seasonal settlements. He talked about how the herders spent the summer on the banks of the river. So it's definitely paragraph T matching with sentence number, what is it? 3, Omiakon past and the present. So Omiakon past and the present, it's definitely number 3. So then now we have paragraph T matched with heading number 3. Moving to E, paragraph E. The temperature when I arrived was minus 45 degrees Celsius, not particularly cold. I was informed a number of factors combined to explain Omiakon's record low temperatures. Interesting. So why he's saying a number of factors combined to explain Omiakon's record low temperatures. So what are these factors? It's far from the ocean. Why is it cold? Because it's far from the ocean, with its moderating effect on air temperature. In addition, the town sits in a valley below the general level of the Omiakon Plateau, which in turn is enclosed on all sides by mountains up to blah, blah, blah. As the old kid thinks, he's talking about how the place or the location of this specific area is making it very cold in the winter. Definitely. So these two sentences actually give us a sign that is heading number, which heading 6 is the only matching one. How Khan is affected by its location. Yes, how is it affected by its location? He talked about how far from the ocean, and he talked about the valley and how this is affecting the temperature, okay, of the town. He talked about everything in here. So as you can see, he talked about how the moderating the air temperature and the coldness, how is it affected by the location? So paragraph E is definitely matching with the heading number what's called I forgot again, number 6. Okay. Now moving to F, day-to-day life, an army can present certain challenges during the long winters. There are hardly any modern household conveniences. Let's stop here. I don't need to read more. I found something. There are hardly means barely, a little, any modern household conveniences. I assume household conveniences are a synonym of facilities. Oh, I think I've seen these words above. So I think this sentence matches with this. Very few facilities in building. Yes, very few, and very few is a synonym of hardly. Facilities in the building, household conveniences. So from that one sentence, so from that one single sentence, from the first sentence, I matched it with the heading. So now you can stop. You don't need to read more. That's it. There are hardly any modern household conveniences. So then this sentence helps me to match paragraph F with heading number, I always forget. What is it? Yeah, number 10. Very few facilities in buildings, which is X enrollment. Okay. Moving now to G. The power station provides winter heating in the form of hot water. But many households lie outside its range and rely on their own wood-burning stove. Hot water, wood-burning stove. These are some ways or forms to help me keep warm. Let's continue. Fuel is plentiful enough in the surrounding forest, but someone still has to venture out to cut the wood. Oh, so first he's talking about, okay, everybody in Omicron owns good boots, a hat made of animal fur, mittens. The boots are usually made from reindeer hide, which is light but keeps your feet very warm. The individual hairs are the skin of animals. That's what we call hairs. The individual hairs are hollow, like a thin tube with air inside. Since air is poor conductor of heat, the skin makes excellent winter footwear, and felt soles added insulation. So it insulates, it isolates the coldness, the cold air. Hats come in a variety of furs, including fox, raccoon, sable, and mink. The whole sentences in here, all the sentences are talking about how can you make yourself warm. That's it. He started by hot water, and then the wood burning stove, and then the fuel, and then the boots, and then the fur, and then the what else he mentioned? Yeah, he mentioned about the hats, which come in variety because of the fox furs or raccoon furs. So all of these actually are definitely a sign to help us match paragraph G with heading number. What is it? Number 7, keeping out the cold. So paragraph G matches with number 7, keeping out the cold. It's so clear. Now let's move to the last paragraph. No, not the last, sorry. H. Omicron 2 shops keep a decent stock of basic foods in tins and packets. But locals Also have to do with yourself options, including hunting, trapping, ice fishing, reindeer breeding, and horse breeding. Indeed, being self-sufficient, blah, blah, blah. Let me stop here. These are some sources of supplies. I don't need to continue reading. It's definitely the first sentence matches with heading number 1. Yes, various sources of supplies. Yes, sources of supplies. These are sources of supplies, exactly. When he mentioned the basic foods, hunting, trapping, ice fishing, reindeer breeding, horse breeding, these are all sorts of supplies, okay? So it's definitely matching. So H, paragraph H, matches with heading number 1. Moving to paragraph I, spring is the best season here, I'm told, okay? So the snow melts, the river flows once more, and the forest is full of wild flowers. So he's talking about how beautiful is the spring, but it's short, okay? In the summer, now let's see the summer. As you can see, he's been talking about the winter all the time. You know, as you can see, the whole test was focusing on the winter. Now he's focusing on spring. We've done from spring now, he moved to the summer. In the summer, Omiakon can be uncomfortably hot. Much of the forest becomes boggy. Boggy means a lot of, you know, how when the soil becomes soggy and too sticky, you know. So much of the forest becomes boggy, so mosquitoes are a constant presence. Omiakon's climate certainly wouldn't suit me, but residents I spoke to said they wouldn't live anywhere else. So as you can see, not only the winter is challenging, also the summer is challenging because the forest, because it's uncomfortably hot at first. That's the first sign. The forest becomes boggy and too much mosquitoes. What does it mean? So paragraph I is definitely matching with number 8. Not the only challenging time of the year. Yes. So as you can see, the winter is not the only challenging time of the year. We have also the summer. Okay, so as you can see, this is the most suitable heading for the last paragraph. So as you can see now, so we've got number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is excluded. There's nothing matching with paragraph 5. Okay, so I have to, you know, cross off this, or to cross this off. 6, we found 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9. So as you can see now, as I told you, we have 2 excluded. So number 5 and number 11, we couldn't find anything about it. Okay, so now we have completely matched all the headings with the paragraphs. Okay, that's all for today. I know it was a long video, but I hope you have fully understood the technique and the strategy of how to apply actually the strategy and the technique and all these question types. So we've gone through matching sentences question, fill the blank question, true, false, not given, and the headings section as well. So these are very, very important, and these are the most common questions in the IELTS test. I know now we have the multiple choice questions. I will go through the multiple choice questions in my upcoming videos. I will explain it to you more so you will be able to understand it. Don't worry about it. Thank you so much for joining me in this beautiful specific video. I look forward to seeing you again. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and activate the bell button to help receive all my upcoming videos, okay? So if you have any questions in here, please don't forget to actually, you can just message me if you want, or just comments in the comment section below. You can write me a comment. I will reply to you personally. And if you actually have any other questions about the IELTS test, specifically reading, you can write down for me and I will reply to you. Thanks again for watching me, and stay tuned. Please don't forget to subscribe. I look forward to seeing you again on my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.